Hi there, and welcome to Early Years Unfolded, where we help parents and caregivers understand the early years, one stage at a time. In today's video, we're diving into the exciting world of 4 to 5-year-olds, also known as pre-K. This is such a big year for your child as they get ready for kindergarten. At this age, kids are building stronger muscles, longer attention spans, and big imaginations. They ask a lot of questions, test out new friendships, and start to understand how the world works. We'll cover the key developmental milestones in areas like cognitive skills, language and literacy, physical growth, and social-emotional development, plus tips for how you can support your little one every step of the way. Whether you're a parent, caregiver, or teacher, this video will give you clear insight into what to expect and how to nurture growth through everyday moments. The purpose of this video is to educate and empower parents, caregivers, and educators by providing a clear overview of the key developmental milestones for children ages 4 to 5. By understanding what's typical in areas like cognitive, language, motor, and social-emotional development, viewers will be better equipped to support school readiness and nurture healthy growth during the critical pre-kindergarten year. As your child approaches kindergarten, understanding their growth helps you support them with confidence. In this video, we'll walk you through what's typical for 4 to 5-year-olds and how you can encourage their development during this exciting stage. By the end of this video, you will be able to identify key developmental milestones for 4 to 5-year-old children across cognitive, physical, language, and social-emotional areas. Recognize signs of kindergarten readiness and how they show up in everyday routines and play. Explore practical, age-appropriate activities that help your child grow and learn at home and in pre-K settings. Gain confidence in observing your child's development and knowing when it may be time to seek additional support. Let's start with physical development, because at this age, your child is truly on the move. 4 and 5-year-olds are gaining strength, coordination, and balance. Whether they're climbing, hopping, or learning to ride a bike, their big muscles, gross motor skills, are getting a workout. At the same time, their small muscles, fine motor skills, are growing stronger too. You'll notice more control when they draw, cut with scissors, or start writing letters. These physical skills are not just fun, they lay the foundation for school tasks and independence. Now, let's take a look at cognitive development, how your child thinks, learns, and solves problems. At 4 and 5 years old, children become curious explorers, asking lots of questions like, why is the sky blue? Or what happens if I mix these colors? Their thinking becomes more logical and organized, and they can focus on tasks for longer periods. You might notice them sorting objects by size or color, completing simple puzzles, or understanding basic time concepts like before and after. They're also great at make-believe, using imagination to tell stories, role-play, and think creatively. These skills help build the foundation for early math, science, and problem-solving they'll use in kindergarten and beyond. Next, let's explore language development, and wow, is there a lot happening at this stage. 4 and 5-year-olds are becoming confident communicators. They ask lots of questions, tell stories, and use longer, more complex sentences. You might hear your child say things like, why does the moon follow me? Or, first we went to the store, then we got ice cream. They're learning how to describe events, express feelings, and hold conversations. They also begin recognizing some letters, rhyming words, and might even try writing their name. All of this builds the foundation for early reading and writing. Now, let's take a look at social-emotional development, how your child learns to understand their feelings, manage emotions, and build relationships with others. At 4 and 5, children are becoming more independent, but they still need plenty of guidance and reassurance. You might see them using words like, I'm mad, or that made me sad, which shows they're learning to express emotions in healthier ways. They're also practicing important social skills like taking turns, sharing toys, and working out simple conflicts with friends. Pretend play becomes more cooperative, and they often enjoy playing in small groups. This stage is also when empathy starts to blossom. Your child might offer a toy to comfort a crying friend or say sorry when they realize they hurt someone. For example, giving plenty of hands-on learning, encouraging curiosity through play, and offering choices helps children stay engaged and feel confident. It's not about pushing them ahead, it's about helping them thrive right where they are. DAP means meeting children where they are, understanding their age, stage of development, and unique personality, and using that knowledge to guide how we teach, play, and interact with them. For example, giving plenty of hands-on learning, encouraging curiosity through play, and offering choices helps children stay engaged and feel confident. It's not about pushing them ahead, it's about helping them thrive right where they are. As children grow closer to kindergarten age, their play becomes even more purposeful and rich in learning opportunities. That brings us to our next focus: preparatory learning through play for 4 to 5-year-olds. At this stage, children are naturally curious, imaginative, and eager to take on new challenges. Through play, they begin to build early academic skills, strengthen self-regulation, and practice working with others, laying the foundation for school success. In both Montessori and play-based preschools, children this age explore early math, science, and literacy through hands-on activities. For example, to teach numbers, you might include counting games, number puzzles, or have kids count snack items. For literacy, create a print-rich environment. Label items in the classroom or home. Have an alphabet chart at eye level. Encourage children to write letters and notes during play. A pretend post office or restaurant menu in dramatic play center. Many 4-year-olds enjoy playing with letter magnets or forming letters out of clay. Guided play can introduce concepts. A teacher might set up a pretend grocery store to teach sorting, weighing, and using money in a playful scenario. At home, involve your child in real-life learning. Let them help measure ingredients while cooking, basic fractions, or make a daily calendar together to mark off days. Understanding time. Let's take a closer look at how we can use play-based experiences to strengthen social skills and reinforce daily routines, helping children build confidence, communication, and a strong sense of belonging in their learning environment. Since kindergarten will require following rules and cooperating in a larger group, it's important to help children refine these skills. Practice group activities like circle time at home, story time where everyone sits and listens for short periods to build listening and attention. Encourage games that require turn-taking and fair play. Simple board games like Candyland or memory matching games are great. Emphasize following rules and being a good sport whether winning or losing. In preschool, teachers often use visual schedules and clear rules, with pictures, to help children remember what behavior is expected. Parents can mirror this by setting household rules in positive terms and giving gentle reminders. If a child struggles with a particular social skill, for example, interrupting others, role-play the appropriate behavior. Let's practice waiting until mommy finishes talking. Then it's your turn. Celebrate improvements to reinforce their social maturity. Now that we've explored how play and social interactions support development, let's turn our attention to one of the most exciting areas for 4 to 5-year-olds, literacy and language. By 4 to 5, children show interest in letters and reading. Support this by continuing nightly story time, asking predictive or inferential questions. What might happen next? Why do you think the character did that? To deepen comprehension. Point out sight words in the environment. Stop on a stop sign, open on a door. Play sound games. Think of words that start with the same sound or segment words into sounds. Cat starts with ache sound. If the child is interested, teach them to recognize and write the letters of their name. Most can learn this in pre-K. Use multisensory techniques. Write letters in sand or shaving cream, make letters from Play-Doh, or trace giant letters in the air. Also, encourage storytelling and listening skills. Ask your child to recount something that happened or make up a story. You can record them or write it down, then read it back. This shows that their words can be written and read, a powerful pre-reading insight. Many children will also begin to read familiar books from memory or by using picture cues. Praise this as reading as it builds confidence and narrative skills. As children grow more curious about the world around them, they also begin to explore patterns, numbers, and problem solving in everyday ways. That brings us to our next focus: mathematical thinking in daily life. Integrate math naturally. Count everything: steps, apples, cars on the road. Introduce the idea of addition and subtraction in practical ways. We have 3 cookies and add 1 more. Now how many? Use language of comparison: more and less, heavier and lighter, larger and smaller. Playing with blocks or Lego is excellent for spatial reasoning. Ask questions about their constructions. Which tower is taller? How many blue blocks did you use? Board games that involve counting spaces or recognizing numbers, like chutes and ladders, are both fun and educational. Also, doing simple patterning with beads or colored buttons, and sorting games. Sort all the toy animals by type or color builds foundational math skills. Keep it playful and part of normal playtime. As children grow, so does their need to feel capable and in control of their world. That's why one of the most important things we can do at this stage is to encourage independence and build confidence. In this year, children often become much more self-sufficient. Let's explore how fostering independence now helps children develop the self-esteem and resilience they'll carry into school and beyond. Encourage them to do things on their own and teach new skills proactively: how to tie shoes. Though many 5-year-olds won't master it until 6, it's a good time to start practicing: how to address an envelope, how to make a sandwich, etc. These life skills not only prepare them for the real world, but also bolster fine motor coordination and self-confidence. Montessori classrooms for 4 to 5-year-olds include many practical life activities like polishing, folding, food preparation, which you can mimic at home by involving your child in everyday chores. They usually take pride in being trusted with grown-up tasks. Provide guidance and then step back and allow them to try. Expect some mess and mistakes. This age can also start learning phone numbers or addresses through simple repetition and songs, enhancing safety and memory. As children grow in confidence with language and learning, it's also important to nurture their natural creativity and emerging interests. Older preschoolers often show strong interests like dinosaurs, outer space, princesses, insects, etc. Let's explore how we can support their creativity and encourage them to follow their interests in meaningful ways. Follow their interests with projects or outings. Visit a museum, make a volcano experiment, plant a mini garden. Their play scenarios might become very detailed. Supply them with props and time to delve deeply. If a child loves art, give them various mediums: watercolors, chalk, collage materials. If they enjoy building, consider more complex construction toys. Support creative expression by displaying their artwork or having them perform shows for the family where they sing, dance, or act out stories. This not only validates their efforts, but also builds language and social skills. As children grow more independent and socially aware at ages 4 to 5, they also experience big emotions and a stronger desire to express themselves. With that growth comes a need for consistent, caring guidance to help them navigate frustration, follow rules, and build self-control. Let's explore how we can support emotional and behavioral guidance. 4 and 5-year-olds generally want to follow rules and behave well, but they are still learning. Use logical consequences and problem-solving discussions for misbehavior. For example, if a child scribbles on the wall, have them help clean it and talk about what surfaces are okay to draw on. Encourage them to use words to express feelings and help come up with solutions. Next time you're angry, you can tell me or stamp your feet, but not hit. Introduce simple conflict resolution steps. In preschool, teachers often teach children to stop, talk, and stop the hurtful action, use words to talk about the problem, and then work together to fix it, maybe with adult help. At this age, kids can also learn empathy by volunteering or helping others in small ways, like making get-well cards for a sick classmate or helping younger siblings. This cultivates social-emotional growth and responsibility. As children approach age 5, many families start preparing for one of the biggest milestones in early childhood, the transition to kindergarten. As the child approaches 5, begin talking about kindergarten in a positive way, visit the new school, read books about starting school, and emphasize the exciting big kid aspects of it. Let's explore key skills and strategies that support a smooth, successful transition from preschool to kindergarten. Make sure they have certain self-care skills down for school, using the bathroom independently, opening their lunch containers, etc. If any developmental concerns persist, for example, unclear speech, difficulty holding a pencil, inability to stick with an activity for any short period, discuss with your pediatrician or a specialist before kindergarten. Early intervention can help smooth the transition. However, remember that academic skills are not the only focus. Being able to follow directions, play cooperatively, and handle emotions are equally important for school readiness. Continue to emphasize enthusiasm for learning rather than rote academic performance. With a foundation of secure relationships, rich play experiences, and gradually building skills, children at 4 to 5 are typically well-equipped to enter the next stage of education as confident, eager learners. Children learn best through everyday moments, and there are many simple things parents can do at home to support school readiness. Here are some practical, age-appropriate tips to help your 4 to 5-year-old build confidence, independence, and the foundational skills they'll need for a smooth transition to kindergarten. Have daily conversations to build vocabulary and confidence. Ask open-ended questions like, "What was your favorite part of today?" Read together for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Point to words, talk about the pictures, and ask simple questions about the story. Practice name writing and drawing shapes. Use visual schedules or timers to help with transitions. Praise efforts and problem solving, not just results. Teach how to take turns, share, and express feelings using words. Remember, every child develops at their own pace. Every child develops at their own pace, and it's normal for some children to reach milestones a little earlier or later than others. But there are times when a delay or behavior may be a sign that your child could benefit from extra support. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right or concerns persist, it's always okay to ask questions or seek professional input. Early support can make a big difference. Consider speaking with a pediatrician, early childhood specialist, or your local school district if your child doesn't speak clearly enough to be understood by most people. Struggles to form complete sentences or follow simple directions. Has difficulty remembering routines or learning simple concepts like colors or numbers. Shows little interest in books, pretend play, or exploring new ideas. Avoids playing with other children or struggles to make friends. Has extreme difficulty managing emotions, frequent, intense meltdowns. Has trouble with basic physical tasks like running, jumping, or climbing. Struggles with hand skills like using crayons, scissors, or dressing themselves. As you support your child's growth and development, remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are many helpful resources available to guide you, answer your questions, and connect you with support when needed. Whether you're looking for parenting tips, early intervention services, or tools to prepare for kindergarten, these resources are here to help you feel informed, empowered, and supported every step of the way. We hope you found today's video helpful as you support your child's growth and development. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with other parents or caregivers who might benefit. And be sure to check out our other videos for more tips, milestones, and activities to support learning at every stage. Until next time, keep encouraging, keep connecting, and remember, you're doing important work every single day.